Hi, this is Kim Watson. In this video, I'm going to discuss putting together a trading plan. Now, it's something a lot of people just don't do. They think, why, I'm only trading a little bit or whatever it may be. But it's absolutely essential when it comes to trading to have a plan of what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. So in this video, I'm going to run through the key points that you must do. To leave them aside, well, you may join that 80% of traders that aren't making anything. You want to be in the top 10, 20%. So this is one of the ways to ensure you're amongst it. So firstly, I'm going to cover some principles of the trading plan. Now, I've already mentioned this in a sense, in terms of the old saying is fail to plan, plan to fail. If you haven't got a trading plan, literally going down a route without a map, effectively. A trading plan is just that, it's your map. What I recommend is you keep it very simple. If you do it every year, it's very easy because you can just adjust it. So once you've done one trading plan, it's easy to adjust it and take out some parts, put some other parts in it. Keep it very simple. Make it quick, and if necessary, and I recommend this strongly, is to do a little bit of it. Put some key notes down. What I suggest is you get a pen and write down the key headings that I've put on here because it will give you some food for thought. You may want to cover other factors, but just do a bit at a time, go backward and forward to it. When you walk away, you may think, oh, actually, I want to do this or that, and get it good. It is at the end of the day purely for you, but what I normally say is if you had to show someone your trading intentions for the year ahead, what would you do and what would you show them? So make it sort of as effect that it's your statement for the year ahead, your plan for the year ahead. You're going to judge yourself by this. Okay, I've emphasized the importance of a trading plan. Next, and the first question that you should be putting on your list is, why am I trading? The reasons why you're trading, because this is where you bring meaning to what you're doing. So, for example, it could be I'm trading for a living. If you're doing so, I would strongly recommend that you've got a secondary, third, fourth income stream. If you're putting a huge amount of pressure to trade for a living, you need resources, and it may be that you've got plenty of money set aside, and you've decided, well, this is the time I'm going to stick my neck out and trade for a living. Fine. Alternatively, you may be trading as an additional income. But then the question, I guess, at the end of the day is what you're expecting in terms of from that business. So you should have an understanding of what you're doing. I'm trading to make more money than if I leave my money in the bank, trying to gain some sort of interest, even though interest rates are currently going up. I'm trading to improve on what I can get with the money in the bank. Whatever it may be, you need to list that down. What are your actual expectations for your income? Now, I've sort of just hinted on some of the reasons why you're trading, but what are your expectations? 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%? I'm talking months here, maybe years for some people, and it all is variable. Some people have such high expectations, they set themselves up to fail at the beginning. So consider what you've done, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but do look at your expectations and consider them sensibly. And if you think it's as easy as some of the video guys out there and the YouTubers and etc. Make it out to be that you'll make 15 to 20% a month. If it was seriously that easy, everyone would be doing it, and probably the magic would have gone away. There are some people doing it, of course, but you've got to have an understanding of what you can possibly do and ensure that your expectations fit your ability. Now, I've talked about expectations. Now you can balance this on how have your results actually been. And I think when you're looking at a business plan, in the world of business, we generally look at previous year's results. We look at next year, the expectations then from based on previous year's results. So we're going to have a better year or worse year. So if you've had a particularly good year, you can take that into account when you're actually designing your business plan. because you've got some foundation to build the business plan on. If you're fresh into trading and you have no results, then well, of course, skip this point, but be aware that you've never done it before, and you haven't got that proof behind things. Now, you may unfortunately have had losing periods, or say losing periods happen, but a losing year. Now, if you've lost for the year and you're down on the year, you've got to then start questioning what you're going to do differently. To make putting together a business plan easier, one of the things I would always do is look at what have I been doing well, what's working particularly well at the moment. It might be because it's the market conditions. You're looking at the market conditions, what's working well in the current market conditions. If you expect conditions to change in a big way, then maybe look back at, well, at times when it was to what you expect it to be, and look at what you were doing well then. So maybe there's a change of planning in terms of what you're doing, but look at what you've been doing well. It's really worth doing it, because this is the point where you should be really focusing on what you should be doing more of as we go into the new year. Likewise, it's well worth looking at what's not going so well. And if it's your whole trading that's not going so well, well then it's just a matter of writing a plan in the first place, and then start deciding on what areas are doing the best. Look at what's not going well at all, remove those ideas. If you're, for example, trading divergences, solely divergences, and you're in a trending market, you may have a lot of losses, and there could be reason. It's well worth looking at why they're not going well, and it may be you're just using the wrong strategy in the current time. So you've got to look at, there's times like we've seen some chop leading up to Christmas, and a divergence-based strategy will have worked better than a trending-based strategy. So look at what's not going so well. If it's just something that you're doing, then changes got to be made. So in your business plan, you've got to decide on what those changes are. So it's important that when you're digging through these questions, you don't just sort of, oh, everything's going great. But there are still times when there's still things that aren't going quite so well in anyone's trading, and you've got to consider it and look at why they're not going so well, and then plan for next year of not doing some of those things maybe, or changing them. I know we've got right into the business plan and we've only just touched what am I going to trade, but it's important that you cover the things that you have been trading and what you're doing first. And it's just almost like a summary part of the business plan. Now, what am I going to trade? Maybe currencies. I'm looking at specific things that you may be trading at, such as the indices, currencies, as I mentioned, oil, commodities, whatever it may be. But you may decide on more than one. But it's, what am I going to trade? You need to understand what you're trading, and then you've got some focus for your business plan. So we get to the question, what strategies am I going to use this year? Now, I've already suggested that you give some thought to where you've been going particularly well and where things aren't going so well. So you've got the basis of a plan here in terms of strategies. Surely those strategies that really haven't been working out for you, either they're not meeting the market conditions and you're trying to force them upon the market regardless, in which case you need to not be trading them for now, but they can be put on the back burner for when things change. But the ones that are working have been working right the way through the year. You can look through the year and see how volatile it was. Look at a daily chart and just look at what your results in the different months and see what happened, and it give you sort of clues to what's done well. But you should have an understanding of your trading, your strategies, and how well they're performing. Once you've got those, you need to, well, identify, well, I'm going to carry on pushing through with these. I might need some new strategies. It's okay not knowing everything you're going to do at the beginning of the year. No one knows what the year is going to turn out like, and it may be that during the year you actually find another strategy which you prefer and it better suits the market. So it's, at this stage, it's just a very important thing to decide, to get into your mindset in terms of what you're going to be doing. and what you're going to be trading, and those strategies that certainly don't work for you. It may be that you've gone down the road of a lot of discretionary trades, and they're just not working out for you. The win rate is not good enough. If your discretionary trades are sort of plus 50% win rate and you're making money from them, well, they're probably good enough. But if you're not making money overall from your discretionary trades, and or that's the most important aspect. The win rate is secondary. The money, the bottom line of those discretionary trades is the most important thing. So, in summary, look at what strategies you're going to use, discard those, and you may even say, not going to use these strategies for now, and just pop them and list them down. One thing you should always decide and set off in the beginning is, what risk am I going to take? So that could be individually with any single trade. It can be the risk overall in terms of a number of trades against a particular currency, etc. So you need to have this planned out in terms of, if you've got three trades all short effectively on the US dollar, well then you've effectively gone 3% short on the US dollar. So you've got to consider this when you're putting your plan together. There's a massive amount of risk if you're not doing a plan altogether, of course. So part of what you're doing now, and the very fact that you listen this far through the video, is that you're interested in understanding what you need to put together to succeed. Having already gone through some of the things that I suggest that you do to build your business plan, i.e. look through your previous records, at this point I should say you might want to put in your business plan what you want to track for this year, so that you have enough information for the following year. Once you come to be looking back at the business plan and what you're going to do, you've got the information then and more information. Often people just are very, very lazy, and they have no idea why they've taken a trade in the past, or what's been working, what hasn't been working. And you can now sort of, when you're sitting at trying to put a plan together, you realize, well, I just didn't put enough information together, or I'm glad I put all the information together because it's working here. And the easier you make it, and the simpler, a simple method of an Excel spreadsheet is fantastic. If you're familiar with Excel spreadsheets, you can pop together a very quick summary analysis of what you're doing, and I literally will have what strategy it is, the date, the time, and everything else. So I've got it all planned out and the result. So it's just a simple record. I've got it month by month, so I can see the months that have been working particularly well, what strategies in that month have been well. So these are the sort of things that you might want to track as you go forward next year. As I said, this is the time to learn from what you haven't got to make sure that you have got it next time. Now, I've already said you should take breaks in terms of during the time of putting this business plan together, or your business plan together. One other thing is to take breaks in trading. Get into some sort of routine where you're taking breaks and rewarding yourself even for keeping to the rules. It helps just with your own being and your own success, in terms of, it makes you've got to be really pretty strict in trading. And as soon as you start veering off and going one way and becoming all lapsy-daisy, your results follow suit so often. It's very easy, or you may just be lucky, but whatever. Having some sort of routine, take breaks while you're trading, and leave the trades alone. Screen watching never makes you any more money than not watching the screen. In fact, not watching the screen probably makes you more money than screen watching. So just walk away, turn the screens off or screen off, and leave it. But ensure you take breaks for your trading. Have weekends. Don't be so immersed in it because you're so interested in doing well that you forget and you watch everything there's to watch on YouTube, and you just get bogged down with detail and information. Just take breaks, have your own routine, and stick with it. So finally, a challenge. Are you taking it seriously? Are you really taking trading seriously? A lot of people won't have, because they'll have already stopped watching the video well before now. Some will have even put thumbs down just because they don't really like the idea of keeping plans. So whatever it is, the question I have for you: are you going to be taking it seriously? Are you going to keep it, get a plan? It can be, as I said, very, very simple. Yes, there might be some analysis of what you've done previously, but if you've kept that, that's brilliant. It's still simple. It may be a bit more complex if you try and thinking back, and it may be that you just have to say, well, I'm not too sure, but I'll start recording it, so I'll keep track of the results going forward. So you plan it going forwards. But the important thing is planning to uh, win, planning to be on the or planning for success, or rather than failing to plan and planning to fail. So you want to be on that success route. So take it seriously. It doesn't take long, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes that you spend at the desk just writing down the beginning of the plan, outline what you're going to be doing. It can be on paper. It doesn't have to be anywhere else. It can be nicely written out, printed out, and put in a frame if you really like. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you need to go back to it though. If you do it once and never look at it again, it's a bit worthless. You need to go back, visit that plan regularly to say, well, how did I start? And even if it's like every couple of weeks, once a month, it might be daily to start off with. What's my plan? You should always have a daily trading plan, so you should understand what you're doing there, which is a separate plan. And yes, there are plans about everything. So when you're going to trade, what time of the day you're going to trade, all these sort of things need planning. But this annual plan that you should be doing, it's really, it judges you in terms of how seriously you're taking becoming wealthier. There is no other business that you would go in without any type of plan whatsoever and hope that you're going to make some money. If you went to a bank asking to borrow some money to invest, you've got to put a business plan in. So effectively, what you're doing is you're probably taking money out of your savings. You've got to give your savings the business plan to warrant taking that money and popping it into your account. So on that note, I wish you the absolute best in the coming year. I wish you the very best in terms of putting together a business plan. You can always contact me if you get really stuck, and if necessary, I'll do a session of question and answers. I've got Telegram, Discord, all the things are below in the list underneath this video, where you can join up with, ask questions as you go through, and get some ideas. So hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, please do give a thumbs up, and also do subscribe if you're not already a member of my channel. Take care. Have a great week, great year in the coming year, and I wish you all the very, very best.